And welcome back to another CBB Talk with your boy, Will Dickinson. We have a bracket. God, why is the sun so bad? All right, I'm gonna pause and see if I can fix the sun. So that didn't do shit. But we got a bracket here. Yesterday, the committee set out, they put 68 teams into the bracket. Is it great? No. Is it? I'm gonna be completely honest. I'm giving you my thoughts and my initial reaction. My predictions will probably come on Wednesday, and I might make a video tomorrow about fun bracket ideas that you can do. But yeah, we gotta take a look at this bracket because man, I have a lot of things to be said. I made my official predictions before the bracket came out, and I ended up getting out of the 60 whatever. I only missed one team. I had St. John's in and Virginia out, but every other team I had in did end up making it. But I was very surprised with some of the seeding. So let's take a look at this bracket because I have some thoughts on it. That's for sure. So yeah, let's get into it. First, we got to take a look at this bracket. All right, let's start with the East region because obviously that was the first region to be announced. UConn is the #1 overall seed. Not really surprised there. Don't have a problem with it. They get Stenson in the first round. Shout out to Stenson for making their first ever NCAA tournament. The 8-9 matchup, FAU gets an 8. I disagree with. I had FAU as one of the last 4 teams in. I think from what I saw, the conference tournaments mean nothing. In my opinion, they only matter for the at-large team in a smaller, it didn't matter. FAU was probably an 8 going into the American, and they finished as an 8. I don't think the conference tournaments really matter in the eyes of the committee, and that's a problem for me. FAU gets an 8. I didn't think they deserved an 8, but they get an 8, and I think that's going to be a tough draw for UConn. This is a team with Final Four pedigree, with a really good coach. But Northwestern, also a good team. Chris Collins has done an amazing job. That's going to be a difficult game to pick. Yeah. San Diego State, UAB as the 5-12. I thought San Diego State was more like a 6, but not really mouth a 5 there. The Mountain West got disrespected. We'll get to that later. UAB as a 12. I believe I had UAB as a 12. Did I? Yeah, I had UAB as a 12 in the East. So pretty much nailed that. We'll see. They had a good win yesterday it was in the A10 championship over Temple. They could be a dangerous team there. This is their second tournament in 3 years. San Diego State in the exact same spot they were last year. Auburn gets the 4. Another run that I don't understand how Auburn gets a 4. They're a 3 seed in my eyes. Is it that big of a deal? No, but Auburn won the SEC tournament. They're like 6th or 5th in the net. They are a 3 seed in my eyes, and they got a 4. I don't know. I think Auburn, they go and win the SEC tournament. It means nothing. I would have gave Auburn a 3, but and Yale 13, crazy comeback against Brown yesterday. Shout out to the Bulldogs for getting in. 6 seed BYU. I think that's perfect for BYU, a 6 seed, but they get 11 seed Duquesne. How is Duquesne an 11? I think the committee was lazy. They just slotted Duquesne in as 11. They made it easy. I think Duquesne's more like a 12, 13 seed. This team is not that good this year. Make a good run. I mean, obviously they won 20 plus games, so they were not bad. But I think an 11 seed for Duquesne when you have teams like JMU as a 12, it makes not a lot of sense to me. But BYU, I think that's a good matchup for BYU. Duquesne, though, maybe they can keep this run going. Illinois at the 3, they looked so good in the Big Ten championship against Wisconsin. Terrence Shannon's been on a roll. I think they're going to be a very hard out for any team, and they get Morehead State in that first round. I love this 7-10 matchup. Washington State, Drake. I'm surprised they gave Drake a 10. I'm happy with it. I'm just surprised they did. This is going to be an amazing matchup on Thursday. Maybe one of the last tips on Thursday. This should be just such a good game. Really just, it's going to be fun to watch these two teams really just go at it. The guards from Washington State, Miles Rice, been so good this year, and Tucker DeFreeze has been amazing for Drake. That's going to be a super rough team to pick. I feel like the majority is going to be on Drake in this one, but I wouldn't be surprised if Washington State can pull off an upset. Not really, I guess not an upset, but you know what I mean. And Iowa State gets the 2. I thought, in my opinion, Iowa State deserved the 1 seed. They go and win the again. They weren't even the top 2 seed. I don't understand in how a team could have been higher than Iowa State on the 2 line. How is Iowa State at least not the 5th team in the nation? The conference tournaments mean nothing if that's the case, because then they get the UConn as their 1. That means they weren't the top 5 seed. I don't understand it. They get South Dakota State in the first round. I think Iowa State got a very tough draw. If they can get to an Elite Eight, it sucks for them because I think they deserve better. The South, Houston got the 1, not surprising. I knew they were going to be number 2. I think they were right with the number 2 overall seed. They get Longwood in the first round. Shout out to the Lancers going back to the tournament. Nebraska A&M is going to be an interesting one. I think I had A&M as a 10. They get a 9, 14 losses, whatever. I mean, if you really think about it, if you lose 14 games, you should not be in the NCAA tournament. But this should be a really good one against Nebraska. 2 teams that can really score the ball. Tomiyaga has been good, Mask for Nebraska, but then you got Wade Taylor, Radford. Texas A&M's been playing really good recently, so that should be a really fun one and should set up either way a really good second round game. Probably one of the best games. I'm being non-biased because as a guy who roots for JMU, my dad went there. They play Wisconsin. In my opinion, JMU should have been an 11. They lost 3 games all year. They just slotted. They get slotted as a 12. They get Wisconsin, who, look, they had a good Big Ten run, and maybe they're playing better again, which maybe sucks for JMU. But again, Wisconsin went through a really tough kind of streak in the middle of this year. They haven't been playing amazing if you look at the grand scheme of things over the last month or two. And this should be maybe one, if not the best game, one of the best games in the whole first round. The Dukes going against the Badgers should be an amazing one. I think JMU is going to be a trendy upset pick. And I'm so excited for this game because I think it's literally just going to be one of the best games we'll see over the weekend for sure. Duke Vermont should be a good game as well. Obviously, Duke losing their first round in the ACC tournament is tough, but in the Vermont, the Catamounts, they're used to being in this situation here. They have a lot of athletic players over there in Vermont. I was watching their game against UMass Lowell. Should be a very good one. But I think Duke, if you see what Duke has, I think they should be happy with the draw they get. And they could face the Dukes of JMU, or they could get Wisconsin. I really like this matchup for Duke. I think they can get to a Sweet 16. Texas Tech, NC State should be another really good one. Obviously, NC State is red hot after winning the ACC tournament. The DJs, DJ Horn, DJ Burns, have been on fire recently. But they get a really tough Texas Tech team. I honestly don't know who I will pick in this game. This is going to be a really tough one for me. I'm going to have to see what the strengths and weaknesses and how they would play against each other in these, because obviously you got guys like Pop Isaacs. I'm sure Darian Williams will be back. And Washington should be back for Texas Tech. They missed that Houston game. So assuming Texas Tech is healthy, I really do not know I'm picking this because NC State has been red hot, but will cool off after, a week off. Or what, 5 days? This game's on Thursday, so like 4 days. Kentucky, Oakland. Kentucky gets a 3. I think they should have been a 4, and Auburn should have been a 3. But not too much of a complaint there. This team is uber talented. They get Oakland in the first round. Good story over there in Oakland. Michigan, by the way. Oakland's in Michigan. I recently learned that. Really good story over there with the coach being there for 40 years, and now they got a Kentucky team. Maybe they can pull off, a really insane upset. Florida gets a 7. Maybe thaw 6 seed because conference tournaments don't matter to the committee. They got a 7 seed. So I think it's kind of a tough draw. But they either get Colorado or Boise State. I'm so shocked Boise State got a play-in. Again, this was disrespectful, I think, to the Mountain West giving Boise State a play-in. This team finished second in the conference standings in the regular season. They did battle out first round of the conference tournament, but being one of the last 4 in for Boise State. The Mountain West was just getting disrespecting. Colorado, not really shocked they were last 4 in. I think I had them. Did I have Colorado in my last 4 in? I did, so not really shocked with that. Just so many bid seals was tough, and it's in the 10 games, so Florida will get the winner of that. Florida, either one of those teams will be a tough test for Florida, but I like Florida in that one. And Marquette gets the 2, not surprising. I don't know if they were the last 2 or what, but they get Western Kentucky in this first round. I'm assuming Tyler Kulik's going to be back for that, but we'll see. Moving on to this Midwest region, Purdue gets the 1, not surprising. They'll get Montana State or Grambling. They won't lose again. I mean, it would be funny. But obviously Purdue has bigger goals. Their goal is to get to the Final Four this year. It's Final Four bust for the Boilermakers. Utah State getting an 8, ridiculous. I have them as a 5 or a 6. They get an 8, a team that won the Mountain West outright in the regular season, one of the best conferences in all of basketball. I don't understand the rationale for them getting an 8. I think the Mountain West really just got screwed with this with their seeding. I don't understand why. Like, what else do they have to do? I know they have a little lower computer numbers, but they won that conference outright, made it to the semifinal of the conference tournament. It makes no sense to me. It really makes no sense to me. TCU gets a 9. I thought TCU may be more in that last 4 in, but they survived that. They get a 9. I think that's a fair ring. That should be a really good game. TCU Utah State. Obviously, the guards of TCU are so good, but great Osborne and Utah State has been just underrated all year, and I think the committee underrated them as well. I think the 5-12s really delivered this year. I mean, this game is just. I mean, we got Gonzaga McNeese. McNeese, obviously led by Will Wade. They lost 3 games all year. This team is really good. They're led by Shahada Wells, the TCU transfer, but they're going against the Zags, and the Zags have been here year after year after year. I think if Gonzaga can get past this game, they have a really good draw. But this game's going to be so good. This is going to be one of the best games in all the tournament. McNeese, Gonzaga. It's going to be must-watch. 2 great 5-12 games we have. And it's that and the JMU game. I honestly don't know I'm going to pick at this game. I said I'm going to pick Gonzaga to win a game in the tournament, but I hate that they got McNeese because obviously they're going to be one. It's going to be hard to pick against a team led by Will Wade that's been that dominant all year. Kansas Stanford's interesting, obviously. This game's going to rely on the health of Kansas. Buckyball is fun. They press all game. They're high tempo. They're going to turn you over. They're going to turn the ball over. They're going to have a lot of possessions in the game. Kansas is not really like that. They don't shoot the 3. Stanford does. So this is going to be an interesting matchup of 2 different styles. We'll see if Kansas, they play on Thursday, so they don't get an extra day of rest. McCullough and Dickinson South. I'm guessing they're going to play. That could be an interesting upset alert there. Because Kansas has not been playing good recently. They bowed out first round of that Big 12 tournament. South Carolina gets Oregon as a 6-11. This is a very interesting 6-11. Obviously, Oregon with a nice run. Dana Altman's team is peaking at the right time. Dante the Big is dominant. But South Carolina's been just consistent all year. Obviously, they got blown out by Auburn in the SEC tournament. This is going to be another tough one for me to predict. I really don't know where I'm leaning at right now in this game. This is one where I could really see either going both ways. Oregon usually, Dana Altman knows how to coach in this tournament. They always seem like they make a little run. So we'll see. But South Carolina back in there. Lamont Parrish has done such an amazing job. Creighton Akron should be a really good game. Akron goes and wins the MAC with Kent State fumbling that game. Obviously, Creighton lost their first game in the Big East tournament, but look, Creighton's still really good. Shireman, Alexander Kalkbrenner is a great 3-man trio. I think you gotta look at Creighton, feel like they got a good draw. With their second round matchup as well. We'll see if Creighton can make it Elite 8, Sweet 16. Elite 8 for the second straight year for Creighton would be really good. Texas gets a 7. I feel like that was a little high for Texas. Maybe it was. Maybe I had Texas at a 7. Did I? No, I had Texas as an 8. I knew Texas was going to be safe, but they did lose their first game in the Big 12 tournament, so I don't know how Texas is. Obviously, they have a lot of talent on that team, a team that made the Elite 8 last year, Rodney Terry. And they're playing either Virginia, who I'm very surprised got in. I'm guessing they were the last team in. They play Colorado State, and I can't believe Colorado State has to play in the play-in. I feel like that's another disrespect for Mountain West, and Colorado State had a really good non-con. They did struggle in the conference play, so I guess they had to go win that game in the Mountain West tournament to get in, because if not, they would have been out. But look, Colorado State's in there. I think Colorado State will beat Virginia and we'll get Colorado State, Texas. But Virginia, Tony Benn's been in the tournament many, many times, and they haven't won a game since 2019 in the tournament, their national championship. So, and if we get Texas, Virginia, it's Kane Shedrick going against his former team, which would be fun. That's gonna be interesting. Obviously, once we know who wins that, maybe it'll be a little easier to predict. And Tennessee with the 2 in the Midwest. Not really shocked Tennessee gets the 2. I don't know if they were the top 2, but they get the 2. Um, St. Peter's there. We'll see. They did it. They did it once as a 15. Oh, I forgot. I had St. Peter's. I thought St. Peter's was gonna be a 16. They ended up getting the 15. Um, Look, I'm not surprised if St. Peter's could do something here. I mean, I can't count the Peacocks. They've been in the exact same situation before. But new coach, new roster. We'll see. Obviously, Dalton Connect in Tennessee didn't have a great SEC tournament. Bowed out their first game, so they should be extra motivated. UNC will get the winner of Howard and Wagner. UNC getting that one. Obviously, I thought it should have been Iowa State, but I'm not surprised. I thought it was going to be Iowa State, but I had the feeling the committee was going to put UNC one, and they did. This team's really good. Obviously, RJ Davis has been amazing all year. Their 8-9 is an interesting one. Mississippi State, Michigan State. We got two MSUs going against each other. Michigan State in the tournament, in my opinion, isn't right. I knew they were going to get in. I had them as a last foreign team. They ended up avoiding that altogether and getting a 9 seed. But this team lost 14 games. They didn't win 20. I don't agree with them being in. But look, I'm not surprised they were. We'll see. This should be an interesting game. Obviously, Mississippi State, Tolu has been great all year, and then Josh Hubbard has been even better. Michigan State, Tyson Walker's been really good. Can someone else step up in this game? Should be interesting. It's Tom Izzo. It's hard to bet against him in March. That should be a really tough game to predict. I'm not sure where I'm leaning. And UNC, I mean, I'm not mad at that draw. You're getting Michigan. You could get Michigan State, which is tough. A team that was top 4 projected in the preseason. So yeah, could be an interesting one for Michigan State. They made a nice little run to the Sweet 16 last year. As a what were they? 7 last year. So we'll see. St. Mary's Grand Canyon, another really good 5-12 game. I feel like every year St. Mary's is a team I pick against in the first round, and they will win and then lose in the second round. But they get GCU, the Antelopes, back into the tournament once again. This team's very, very good. This is going to be a really tough one for me to predict. 2 West Coast teams. This is probably I think this is the last tip of the first round. So should be, could be stressing on this one because this team, I think the winner of this game could easily make the Sweet 16. But we'll see. Bama, Charleston. This game could fucking go. Sorry. I try not to curse in these because I know some other people watched them, but I did. This game could go up to 200 points total. Both these offenses, they shoot the 3 a lot. This should be a high-paced game. Should be a fun one to watch this on Friday tip. Yeah, this should be very interesting. Obviously, Bama is a team that's been very inconsistent, not too great recently. They end up getting a 4. I think their computer numbers, and they just gave them a 4 because they were. I don't understand how Bama's a 4, but whatever. They get the 4. Charleston's a team that has been playing better. I think they've won now like 8 in a row, 9 in a row. They've been playing red hot basketball recently to finish up CAA play and obviously go win the CAA tournament. They're a team that shoots a 3. They were in the tournament last year, but got a tough draw in San Diego State. I think they could pull off an upset here. I'm not the biggest fan of Alabama, but Alabama's beat the bad teams this year. They just struggle against good teams. That's why they have like double-digit losses. I'd love this 6-11 matchup. Obviously, New Mexico should have been higher than 11. They're ranked 22nd in the net. They win the Mount West tournament, and they get an 11 seed. I honestly don't understand. The committee, in my opinion, just made so many bad, seeding errors, but whatever. New Mexico, Clemson, this should be a really good one. I think the winner of this game has a great chance to get to the Sweet 16. This is going to be a very tough one to predict because PJ Hall is such a beast, and New Mexico's strength isn't in their big men. Joseph is their big over there, but the New Mexico guards are playing really good basketball right now. I think Richard Pitino will get them ready, and I think I'm leaning New Mexico in this one, but it could change by the time I fill out my official bracket. Baylor, Colgate. Colgate's always in this scenario. Maybe one day they can get a tournament win. Maybe it's this year. But I like Baylor too. Ray J. They shoot the three, and they could be scary because you could get cold from three. So that should be a very good one. Uh, that's one of the earlier tips on Friday. Dayton, Nevada. I'm not mad at this matchup. I disagree with the seeds. I almost think these two teams should be flip flopped. Nevada should be the 7. Dayton should be the 10. And we'll see what the line is when it comes out. I think. Does it tell you what the line is? If I go press on this, does it tell me what the line is? No, it doesn't. Uh, Out for season. Okay, whatever. This is actually kind of cool. They tell you like sports line. Okay, it doesn't tell me shit. This shit doesn't tell me anything. Um, I'm kind of leave. I'm gonna probably lean Nevada here. I do think that Deron Holmes will be a problem. Nevada's strengths definitely isn't in their big men. Jared Lucas and Blackshear have been the best two players over there, so maybe Dane matches up well with them. I'll see. But either way, they're getting a tough Arizona team who's played so good in neutral courts and out of conference this year. They get the two. Maybe they were the top two, which I'm kind of surprised because of that loss to Oregon. They get Long Beach State. Interesting story over there with their coach being fired, but still coaching. Should be. That's kind of weird. It's a little strange. But I will say, shout out to Long Beach State for getting in the beach. It's a great name. But Arizona, we could see Arizona, Carolina in the Elite Eight. And that would be awesome. Caleb Love versus UNC. Oh man, that would be amazing if that was the case, but we'll see. So yeah, the bracket's out. The Final Four in Phoenix this year. We got the playing games on Tuesday. We got Virginia, Colorado State. Oh, Howard Wagner will be the first tip on Thursday at 2:40. And then obviously they're always on True TV. So make sure you go find your True TV because you don't watch True TV all year. And then you have to go make sure it's on the top of your channels for March Madness, at least for the first round. I don't really know if True TV is even used that past the first round, but make sure you know where it is. Look how this long until the first game. Just over 3 days before the first games of March Madness. Let me know your thoughts on this bracket. In my opinion, the committee did a bad job of getting the teams in. I just think they did a bad job with the seeding. I think they were a little lazy. But at the end of the day, we have a bracket, and it's beautiful. I'll be filling mine out on Wednesday, but I'm going to give you some good bracket. Like, I'm going to make a video on fun bracket ideas you could do probably tomorrow. So, yeah. I'm excited for March Madness, man. It's officially here, and let me know what your Final Four is or whatever. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on the bracket and go like, comment, subscribe, and peace.